What's up YouTube? Welcome to Cars, Cost, and Technology. Today I'm going to be doing a quick video on the 5 things I love about my C6 Corvette. I have already done a video on the 5 things I hate about my C6 Corvette, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. I really want to point out a couple features that stood out to me as just my absolute favorite, but as a whole I would recommend this car to anyone. Really great value. I've really enjoyed it so far, so let's jump into my list. So the number one thing on the list of items I love about my C6 Corvette has to be the appearance. Obviously that's strictly personal preference. Not everyone's going to feel that same way, but I've really just enjoyed the C6 body style even since I was a teenager and a kid. I just think it's really sleek. Love the rear end. It's classic Corvette with a little more of a modern twist than you know, the C5 and the C4, but all in all I just think it's a good looking car. And this car may look modified, but it's actually completely stock. The wheels are plasti dip black. I did it that way just because I wanted to see what they look like before I committed to actually, you know, painting them, being stuck with the black rims permanently. The plasti dip obviously peels off pretty easily, but I think they actually really add to the look of the car. So for now, I've kept them dipped black. Also, the halo or the arch around the roof and windows has also been plasti dip black. Same thing, I think it just adds to the look of the car. I prefer the solid black look of the rear window, windshield, and arch or halo there. Everyone has a different preference there, but that used to be red. The car did come with the black transparent roof on it, but other than that, it's completely stock. And I just really enjoy the look of it. I don't think I'd change anything on it. Maybe a more aggressive front splitter similar to the Z06 or ZR1, but other than that I think it's exactly how I like it. So another thing I love about this car, obviously being a Corvette, it's kind of a given. The engine, just the performance as a whole. It's got the LS2 6-liter V8 in it, 400 horsepower, rated at 0 to 60 time of 4.5 seconds, top speed of 186 miles an hour. For the price range, you really can't get much else with that kind of performance. So that's just one of my main reasons for buying it, and can definitely say that it's got plenty of power. So I'm enjoying that for sure. So next thing on my list of items or features I love has to be the technology, and I'm actually summarizing multiple things into, you know, just one term. I will kind of show you a few smaller videos just to explain what I mean by technology, but keep in mind that this particular car is a 2005. The C6 body style or model ranged from 2005 all the way to 2013. There were very few changes, especially in the interior, in those years. So this one actually appears to be ahead of its time, you know, I guess you could say, with a lot of cool features, where I think by the time the 2013 C6 rolled out, it was definitely looking a little dated compared to a lot of its competitors. So let me go ahead and jump into a few of the cool technology features that stood out to me, at least for a 2005 vehicle. I definitely love the push-to-start feature. I've had a couple other vehicles that were newer than this, you know, Mercedes, Honda, and they didn't have the push to start feature. Obviously it was available on certain trim levels, but to me, you know, that this feature being included on 2005, granted it's on pretty much all cars now for 2016 and obviously coming up with 2017 models, but back in 2005 that's pretty cool technology, and it works flawlessly. It actually comes with 3 different keys, 2 of them being the wireless fobs. Those actually also have the ability to lock or unlock the car depending on how close I am to the car, and give you the ability to start the car as long as that fob is in the car. There is a number 1 and number 2 key. So you actually have the ability to program each of the number 1 and number 2 keys to, you know, say 2 different drivers' preference, or maybe a road key and track key, you know, whatever you prefer. But it actually controls the seat position, the exit position, steering wheel position, Even the radio stations, as well as the heads-up display, is also configured to whichever key you're using. So you can tailor a lot just to which key you have. So really convenient if you have two different drivers, or like I said, two different purposes for the car. You can have a different key for each use. And the third key is not actually to start the car. This is actually used to get into the car if the battery were to ever die. So on the C6 and C7 Corvettes, there's no mechanical door handle on the inside or outside. So really cool way of opening the door. There's actually just this small button on the inside. Just push it like so, and that opens the door. Much cooler than an actual handle that you have to pull on. And for the outside, you actually just rest your hand up against that small pad on the inside there, put a little bit of pressure, and that opens the door. So the last thing I wanted to wrap into the technology summary, so to speak, is the heads-up display. There are many more cool features that I would consider, pretty modern or advanced technology for this model year or this type of vehicle. But obviously we could go through that forever. I'd rather just show you some of the main ones that stand out to me. So with the heads-up display, pretty straightforward. You start the vehicle and you get your Corvette logo and a gauge here on the windshield. It's got a lot of cool information built right into it. Obviously you see the RPMs, you see the G meter, oil pressure gauge there. You actually can change it to multiple different setups. So I typically just use the standard miles per hour there. It's really nice not to have to look down and try to keep an eye on your gauges while you're driving. Makes it a lot easier. Got another track mode there, pretty similar layout to the first one. But anyway, just a cool feature that you wouldn't think would make a big difference, but once you get used to driving with that, it really helps. I've found myself in any of my other vehicles kind of just dozing off at the windshield, not paying attention to the gauges, because I've gotten so used to being able to rely on the heads-up display in this car. So everything's live time data, works pretty smooth. See RPMs there. So pretty awesome. Another great thing about this car, at least from a sports car angle, is just the practicality. I mean, it's not perfect, but for a 400 horsepower V8 to average almost 18 miles per gallon, driving around the city, I'm pretty impressed with that. This car's also got a huge trunk. Granted, this is the coupe version, not the convertible. I think the convertible cuts out a little bit of space, but you can see there my sunshade for the windshield in there, and it's not even close to running out of room. You hear a lot of people joke about supercars or sports cars only being able to carry maybe one bag of luggage for a weekend getaway, but you could fit a lot in this car. Granted, I don't really ever carry a whole lot in here, but if I did need to, it's nice to have that option and the ability to. It all just ties into it being a pretty practical sports car. And I would say the final thing on my list of items I love about this car has to just be the Corvette name. Obviously, it's not the most prestigious or respected name in the automotive industry, but as a whole, I think for an American sports car, or even crossing that borderline of muscle car, I just think they've done a good job. Chevy has done a good job of kind of preserving the name, sticking to the roots. Obviously, they haven't done a four-cylinder or V6 variant like you're seeing with the Mustang, the Camaro, the Challenger, the Charger. A lot of those classic American sports cars, muscle cars, I think they've kind of veered away from the original goal of those cars and just started to try to sell as many units as they can. Where the Corvette, like I said, it's got its flaws, but as a whole, it's still, every model is going to be a performance-oriented vehicle with a, powerful V8 in it. They are relatively affordable, but there is no cheap version that you can buy, just some
low-end junky version that you can drive and that you're going to see, some teenage girl driving in at the, stoplight next to you, like you may see with a Mustang or some of these other cars. Not to say that I don't respect those. I have a lot of respect for those cars as well, but that's just tough for me to stomach. If you're going to buy you know, a sports car of any kind, there shouldn't be so many versions out there to dilute the character of the car and what the car stands for. So I think if it means something to me, it may not to everyone, but I think that that's really powerful that Chevy has done a good job of kind of preserving the history there of the Corvette, keeping it a true sports car, and just strictly making it a sports car. No diluted, watered down version just to sell a bunch of units. But anyway, that concludes my list of 5 things I love about my C6 Corvette. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.